Charles and Purity were living a happy life, filled with love and joy. They had 2 boys who were the center of their universe. Charles was working as a banker, but he was struggling to meet the expectations of his family. The pressure was taking a toll on him. Despite his best efforts, Charles was expelled from his banking job due to low returns on investment. He was devastated. Purity tried her best to support Charles, but he was struggling to cope with the loss of his job. One day, Charles proposed to Purity again, and she was overjoyed. Little did she know, she was already pregnant. Purity's pregnancy was discovered when she was rushed to the hospital due to complications. Charles was by her side, holding her hand. Meanwhile, Deborah was going through a tough time. She had been paralyzed and was confined to a wheelchair. Deborah's life changed when she met a Nigerian surgeon doctor who had come from Russia. He was kind and attentive, and Deborah found herself drawn to him. The doctor, Mr. Samuel, was intrigued by Deborah's story and decided to take her case. With the help of some foreign doctors, he worked tirelessly to restore Deborah's mobility. After a second surgery, Deborah was finally able to walk again. She was overjoyed and grateful to Mr. Samuel. Mr. Samuel and Deborah grew closer, and he proposed to her. Deborah, though hesitant at first, agreed to marry him. Unknowingly to Mr. Samuel, Deborah was pregnant. She was afraid to tell him, fearing he would reject her. Deborah's pregnancy was a result of a past relationship with Charles, and she was still reeling from the shock. Despite her reservations, Deborah agreed to marry Mr. Samuel. She was grateful for his love and support. As Deborah prepared for her wedding, she couldn't help but think about her unborn baby. She was torn between her love for Mr. Samuel and her fear of the unknown. Purity, on the other hand, was excited about her pregnancy. She and Charles were thrilled to be expecting another child. As the days went by, Deborah's health continued to improve. She was walking again, and her pregnancy was progressing well. Deborah decided to go to the shopping mall to buy baby items for her unborn child. As she walked through the crowded mall, she bumped into Purity. Purity was taken aback by Deborah's appearance. She couldn't believe her eyes. Deborah, who was once paralyzed, was now walking and heavily pregnant. Deborah greeted Purity warmly, but Purity was too shocked to respond. She stood there, frozen in surprise. Purity's mind was racing with questions. How was Deborah walking? Who was the father of her child? Without a word, Purity turned around and quickly left the mall. She needed to talk to Charles about what she had just seen. As soon as Purity was out of the mall, she called Charles. "Charles, do you know whom I saw?" she asked, her voice shaking. Charles's voice was calm on the other end of the line. "Who did you see, Purity?" he asked. Purity took a deep breath before answering. "I saw Deborah. She's walking and heavily pregnant." Charles's response was immediate. "Deborah. On a wheelchair." Purity's laughter was tinged with hysteria. "No, Charles. She's walking with her 2 legs. And she's pregnant." The phone fell silent. Purity waited for Charles's response, but there was only static. Charles's mind was reeling. How was Deborah walking? And who was the father of her child? Purity's voice cut through the silence. "Charles, are you there?" But Charles didn't respond. The phone had gone dead, and Purity was left standing alone, wondering what would happen next. Deborah, oblivious to the shock she had just caused, continued shopping for baby items. She was excited to meet her new baby. As she walked through the mall, Deborah couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude towards Mr. Samuel. He had given her a second chance at life. Purity, on the other hand, was trying to process what she had just seen. She couldn't believe that Deborah was walking and pregnant. Charles's phone was still on the floor, the battery dead. He was lost in thought, trying to make sense of what Purity had just told him. As the news sank in, Charles felt a mix of emotions. He was happy for Deborah, but he couldn't help but wonder about the circumstances surrounding her pregnancy. Purity waited for a few minutes, but Charles didn't call back. She tried calling him again, but the phone was still dead. Deborah, meanwhile, finished her shopping and headed home. She was excited to tell Mr. Samuel about her day. As she walked into the house, Mr. Samuel greeted her with a warm smile. "How was your day, my love?" he asked. Deborah smiled back at him. "It was good. I went shopping for baby items." Mr. Samuel's eyes lit up. "That's wonderful. I'm so excited to meet our little one." Deborah's heart swelled with love for Mr. Samuel. She was grateful for his support and care. Back at Purity's place, Charles finally managed to get his phone working again. He called Purity, but she didn't answer. Charles left a message. "Hey, I'm sorry about the phone cutting off earlier. Can you call me back?" Purity received the message and called Charles back. "Hey, what's going on?" she asked. Charles hesitated, unsure of how to bring up the topic of Deborah. "I was just thinking about what you told me earlier," he said. Purity knew exactly what he was referring to. "You mean about Deborah?" she asked. Charles nodded, even though Purity couldn't see him. "Yes, that's exactly what I mean. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it." Purity sighed. "I know, me too. It's just so shocking to see her walking and pregnant after everything she's been through." Purity and Charles still trying to process the news about Deborah. Purity shouted in pains. Charles devastated, "What is happening to you? Are you 9 months already?" Many questions coming from Charles at the same time. Purity was rushed to the hospital. "What actually happened will shock you.